my friend.
Wow, that's good. Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Marty, and welcome to a very wet cockadoodle farm. I mean, we could have used the rain. It's been a very dry summer, but like all at once. So in today's video, we're going to talk about the use of chemicals on our food. And at the end of the video, I'm going to have an update on a really hard decision that we had to make with our online marketplace. Before we do that, I want to introduce you to Morgan at Fox at the Fork. Morgan has listed her products on Cockadoodle's website for probably a little over a year now. And the amazing thing about Fox and the Fork is that they use 0 chemicals ever, which is a really hard thing to do. But today we're going to go visit her, and she's going to walk us through her operation and kind of share her thoughts on chemicals on food.
But one of the first things a lot of people notice when they come to visit here is the row cover, which is what we use in lieu of spraying chemicals on our crops. The row cover literally blocks bugs from getting in, which is the job of what pesticides do, is they create a film on your leafy greens and then that deters pests, but this is just creating a physical barrier instead. Notice, which we do a lot of here on this bed and this bed right next to it, is intercropping. This is another way to do pest management without having to spray chemicals. So by putting different crops together in the same bed, you're kind of confusing the pests, because if it's all one thing all together, they're like, a buffet. In this bed here, we planted sweet alyssum in the middle. We don't harvest it or anything. It doesn't give us a yield, but it attracts a lot of beneficial insects. So anything with like little white flowers like this is very attractive to the good guy bugs, the ones that are eating the pest bugs. They spray chemicals around, you know, the monocrop corn people.
Okay.
So do you see how their leaves are like all curled and sad down here, as compared to like these this is more recent growth up here. The leaves are more full and broad. This is damage from other farmers spraying. So their chemicals are so harsh that my plant here, their corn can handle it.
Yeah.
My tomato can't.
Right.
Because it's only meant to protect corn.
Right.
And so if they're spraying their corn over there, sure, they're gonna get a beautiful corn crop. But now all of a sudden, they put my tomato crop at risk.
Yeah.
I think that it requires more effort to not spray chemicals, because in not spraying like a pesticide, for example, on your tomatoes, that means you have to be on the lookout for the pest, because the pest is still going to show up. And in the case of tomatoes, one of the biggest pests is the tomato hornworm, which they're these big juicy green caterpillars, and they will just like gobble up chunks of your tomatoes. And so the sweet alyssum that we saw in the potatoes, we also plant with our tomatoes, because it attracts a parasitic wasp that will parasitize the tomato hornworm. It's like something out of a sci-fi movie. You see this, I've got a picture, I have to show it to you. It's crazy. It's like a worm with all these little white parasites like coming off of it, and so it completely kills the worm. But we had to take that extra step of planting something additional alongside. And then we also scout our tomato plants. We're up and down looking, like, where are those fat worms? How do you find them? You look for bite marks out of your tomatoes.
Like sweet corn is like the topical thing, because it's really hard to grow sweet corn, from my understanding, without the use of any chemicals in this area.
Yeah, so people ask me all the time, actually, Morgan, why don't you grow sweet corn? And the reason is because people don't want to buy corn with bugs in it, because that's really what it comes down to.
Yeah.
I've worked on organic farms that grow organic corn, and organic corn has little bugs in it because they didn't spray it.
Right.
And I think the general population has become very accustomed to a food that is pristine in looks and bug-free.
Yeah.
And because of that, you know, we say we don't want chemicals, but we also don't want to see holes in the leaves of our salad, or we also don't want to see little bugs when we peel the leaves back from the corn.
Yeah.
So which one is it?
Right.
Because you can't really have the organic, the chemical-free without the bugs. The bugs are part of it.
Yeah.
That's organic. So I think it will probably require a perspective shift from customers to say, I'm okay with seeing these things because that's my indicator that there weren't chemicals sprayed.
Okay. You can't even like... Wow, I mean, isn't it just like amazing what they're doing there? We didn't even really touch on the environmental benefits of what they're doing there. I mean, let's just say that if there was more farmers like Fox and the Fork, the world would be a better place. But now the hard decision that we had to make on our marketplace was to not carry any products with any chemicals ever. And what that means is that if consumers aren't okay with having bugs or ugly looking product, there's just going to be some products that we're not going to be able to carry on our marketplace. And the big one is sweet corn. Now, we may experiment with working with some organic sweet corn growers locally, but like Morgan said, we're probably going to have to be okay with ugly looking corn or corn with bugs in it. And I'm not quite sure where the consumers are going to fall on the acceptance of all that. I mean, as some of you may know, I'm on the other side of cancer. The cancer that was caused by glyphosate, which is the main ingredient in Roundup. And I was part of that whole thing, and it's hard to say that the type of cancer that I was diagnosed with was directly associated with glyphosate. But having gone through that, it's just really important for us not to support any sort of agriculture that uses those practices. Now, whether that's a sustainable thing, whether that can feed the world or not, I don't know. But that's kind of the decision that we made for Cockadoodle, and it's what's important to us. But thanks for watching today, guys. If you have any thoughts about the use of chemicals with food and agriculture, please put them in the comments below. And if you'd like to follow along with our adventures here as we look to scale our farm alongside this online marketplace to make real food available to more people, please subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.